So the Hoover All-Terrain is one of these poorly thought out designs where they have two separate brush rolls, one in the front, one in the back, back to back. The idea here, well, I'll be frank, the idea here is the product sells better because two must be better than one. Ultimately, it just creates more things to break, and I would argue that they are less effective. But as a result, there's actually two belts on the Hoover All-Terrain. One of those belts will connect the primary brush roller to the motor that drives the belt. There are two motors, one creates suction, one drives the belt. One of the belts connects the motor to the primary brush, and then the other belt will connect the brushes together, and they're on separate ends. On this machine, the primary belt, which is a serpentine belt, doesn't have cogs on it, but has grooves, is fine. But the other belt is a cog belt, the belt that connects the two brushes together. That belt is stripped out. There's some flat spots on that belt. So what we'll find, we turn the machine on. In this case, it appears to spin fine. But if we apply a little bit of pressure, and be careful if you're going to do this because you can actually see it rip my glove a little bit. We apply a little bit of pressure and the front brush to the front brush and it starts to spin. That's because that's a cogged belt, and we already know some of the cogs on that belt are stripped out. And so you'll see that start to happen if you have it on a thicker carpet, thicker rug, something like that. You'll start to see it start to slip, and that is in fact a bad belt. So I'm going to unplug the machine. I'm going to show you how to do both belts. If you don't have any brush spin, it's possible that your serpentine belt is the one that's failed, and that's the one that goes from the motor to the main primary brush. This video presents you with some basic troubleshooting steps that you can take at home to get your appliance working again. And that said, there's always risk involved with appliance repair. You could hurt yourself, you could damage the appliance worse, you hurt those around you for that matter. Follow these steps at your own risk. We're not liable for any damages that might occur as a result of following the steps in this video. I also encourage you to watch the video in its entirety prior to starting to be sure that you can follow through with all of the required steps to complete the repair. So Hoover has chosen in this case to use security bits. So these are Torx bits, but they have a stud in the middle of them. This is a T10 security Torx bits. I'll link below. We sell a set of these bits because they're becoming very common in brands like Shark and any of the other brands that don't want their products to be repaired by you. There's a total of 5 screws on this side. We'll remove all of them. And this will pop off that side. And this is the side that has the cogged belt on it. And you can see the belt runs from here to here, connecting the back brush roll with the front brush roll. So this belt, if you turn it and pull, you can slide it right off this cog shaft right here, easy peasy. So if we look at the belt, we can see it's got cogs on it, and we go over here, there's a flat spot where the cogs have ripped off. And that's what was happening there was when I would apply a little bit of pressure, it would stick right here and it would squeal. All right, so very simple. I'm going to hook it around the front because there's a lip on that cog, and then it goes on the motor back here. And if we turn it a little bit by hand, it'll slide right onto the, I'm sorry, not motor, but the back brush roll. And there we go. We are now on there. And I'll go ahead and put this cap on. I'm going to open the other side as well to show you that belt on the other side next. If this is all you were doing, you're done with your repair. Okay, so now we're going to look at the other side. So if neither one of your brushes are spinning, it is possible that your serpentine belt may have broken. This is actually the belt that they sell. It's also the least likely belt to actually have a problem. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side. Okay, so now we see the serpentine belt. Over here you have the motor, and this is the main brush roll. Remember, on the other side you have a belt that's connecting the other side of the main brush roll to the soft brush roll. This belt, likewise, if you turn it and pull, it'll pop right off the motor and it'll come right off. This belt here looks 100% fine, as they typically do. Serpentine belts work quite well because even if you jam something and it slips, it doesn't have cogs on it to shred out. So they generally are pretty resilient. It's going to be pretty unusual that you actually need to replace this belt, but it could happen. To put it back on again, you'll put it on the larger wheel, make sure your grooves are set in, and then apply pressure to one side here, and roll the belt on, and then your grooves will set in there. And that's it for replacing that side of the belt. On this side, there's this little plastic button, which is used to remove this. This can fall out. It's just held in by this little plastic peg. So be careful when you're putting it back on. And 6 screws back in. Short screw in the front. Forgot to mention they are different sized. And the shorty goes to the front. And that's it. You now have a good belt on your Hoover.